French doors. They look fantastic, they let in a ton of light, but man, what a headache when they refuse to lock, right? It's an incredibly common issue, and believe me, it can turn that beautiful feature into a real security nightmare. So today, we're going to get to the bottom of it and show you exactly how to get it fixed.
I mean, let's face it, there's a reason we love them. They can completely open up a room, connect you to the outdoors, and just add this touch of elegance. They're a real statement piece.
But here's the thing, all that style just goes out the window if you can't secure your home. An unlocked door isn't just a nuisance, it's a serious problem. So what is actually going on here? Why won't the darn thing lock?
Okay, so before we can fix anything, we've got to play detective. We need to figure out what's causing the jam in the first place. Turns out there are a few very common culprits we need to investigate.
So here they are, the top 5 reasons your door is giving you trouble. It could be something as simple as the doors being out of alignment, or maybe there's just some dirt or debris stuck in the mechanism. On the other hand, it might be something a little more mechanical, like a worn-out part inside the lock, loose hinges making the door sag, or even rusted bolts that have just seized up over time. Now this first one, misalignment, is the #1 offender by a long shot. And you know what's wild? It often just comes down to the weather. As the temperature changes, the material of your door can actually expand or shrink just a tiny bit, but that tiny bit is enough to throw the whole thing off so the bolt just can't line up with the strike plate in the frame anymore.
All right, so now that we know what we're looking for, let's get our hands dirty. The best part is you can probably fix a lot of these issues yourself without having to call anyone. Let's walk through a few simple checks. Okay, here's your quick 4-point checklist. First, grab some lubricant, a silicone or graphite spray is perfect, and hit all the moving parts. Next, get in there and clean out any gunk or dirt from the lock strip. Then, do a slow motion test. Close the doors really slowly and watch to see if they rub or hit the frame anywhere. And finally, just grab a screwdriver and tighten up every screw you can find on the hinges and the frame. You'd be surprised how often that does the trick. So you've done those basic checks, and maybe it's still not working. Don't worry. There is one single, dead simple test that will tell you exactly what's going on. This is the big one. This is the moment of truth. Is the lock itself actually broken, or is it just an alignment problem? This one simple action is going to give you the answer, loud and clear. All right, here it is. Go to your door and swing it wide open so it's not touching the frame at all. Now try to lock it. Lift the handle, turn the key, the whole 9 yards. If everything operates smoothly, congratulations, your lock mechanism is perfectly fine. The problem is 100% your door's alignment. But if it still won't lock even when it's wide open, well, then you know the issue is inside the lock itself. See how easy that was? Now, based on the result of that one little test, you'll know exactly what to do next, whether you can handle it yourself or if it's time to bring in a professional. It really boils down to this. If the lock worked when the door was open, you're in the DIY zone. The problem is alignment, loose hinges, or maybe some debris you missed. You can probably adjust that yourself. But if the lock failed the open door test, then the problem is internal. It's almost certainly the gearbox. That's the mechanism inside the door that actually makes the lock work. And for that, you're going to want to call a locksmith. And here's some really good news. When you do call a pro for a gearbox issue, they don't have to rip out your entire door. A good locksmith can just replace that one faulty internal part, which is way cheaper and a whole lot less hassle than getting a brand new door. So there you have it. You're officially armed with everything you need to know. You have your checklist, you have the ultimate diagnostic test, and you know exactly when to tackle it yourself and when to call for backup. You are ready to take back control of those stubborn French doors. So, what are you going to do first?